And here is the Writer's Almanac for Thursday. It's the 25th of July, 2019. It was on this day, 1897, that Jack London, 21, sailed from San Francisco on his way to the Klondike to search for gold. He was on board the SS Umatilla with his brother-in-law, James Shepherd, who was close to 70. He had mortgaged his house to pay for the passage and gear for the two men. They had an 8-day trip from San Francisco to Juneau, Alaska, and then took boats to the start of the Chilkoot Trail, which was a tough journey, 33 miles through the Chilkoot Pass, the most direct route from the coast of Alaska to the Yukon. When the brother-in-law, James Shepherd, saw the Chilkoot Pass, he realized there was no way he could make it. He gave all of his gear to Jack London, and he went back to California. The Chilkoot Pass was brutal. The trail rose 1,000 feet in a half mile. He had to carry all their gear on their backs. It was too steep for animals. Jack London made it over the pass with a ton of gear, spent a hard winter on Lake Lindeman, came down with scurvy for lack of vegetables, and he headed back. Got back to San Francisco sick and depressed, but he started writing about his trip to the Yukon. Wrote a story for the Atlantic Monthly, An Odyssey of the North, which led to his book, The Call of the Wild, which made his career. 1952, on this date, the archipelago of Puerto Rico became a self-governing commonwealth of the United States. And 1 year after, one of the largest migrations in the world occurred. More than 70,000 Puerto Ricans emigrated to the United States, to New York, New Jersey, and Florida. It was on this day, 1788, that Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart entered into his catalog the completion of his Symphony No. 40 in G minor, the great G minor symphony. It was towards the end of his life. Things were not going well. An infant daughter had died a few weeks before. He'd moved into a cheaper apartment. He was begging friends for loans. But in the summer of 1788, he wrote his last three symphonies, No. 39 in E-flat, the Symphony in G minor, and the Jupiter Symphony. It's not known if he heard any of them in his lifetime. Here's a poem for today by Philip F. Deaver, Gray. This was our pretty gray kitten, hence her name, who was born in our garage and stayed nearby her whole life. There were allergies, so she was, as they say, an outside cat. But she loved us. For years she was at our window, sometimes a paw on the screen, as if to want in, as if to be with us the best she could. She would be on the deck at the sliding door. She would be on the small sill of the window in the bathroom. She would be at the kitchen window above the sink. We'd go to the living room, anticipating that she'd be there too, hop up, look in. She'd be on the roof. She'd be on a nearby tree. She'd be listening through the wall to our family life. She knew where we were and she knew where we were going and would meet us there. Little spark of consciousness, calm kitty eyes staring through the window. After the family broke and when the house was about to sell, I walked around it for a last look. Under the eaves, on the ground, there was a path worn in the dirt, tight against the foundation, small padded feet, year after year, window to window. When we moved, we left her to be fed by the people next door. Months after we were gone, they found her in the bushes and buried her by the fence. So many years after, I can't get her out of my mind. Gray, by Philip F. Deaver, from How Men Pray, published by Anhinga Press and used by permission here on the Writer's Almanac. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.